So this is day 5 and the first coat on the wall of white emulsion. I just thought I'd do another quick video update with that first coat. Obviously the other walls have got to be done, but that's the wall that had the bird wallpaper. As you can tell, it's going to take probably about, I would probably say about 4 coats of paint. It's only taking 4 coats because of the paint that I'm using. The paint that I'm using at the moment is Wilko's matte emulsion. I use this paint actually quite a lot, but because this is obviously a very patterned wallpaper with lots of colours in it, it is going to take quite a lot of coats. But yeah, I mean on these other walls, which is like a lilac, it actually looks grey, but it's not, it's lilac, maybe 2 coats, but that patterned wallpaper is definitely going to take 4 with the Wilko's emulsion. I usually use Crown trade paint quite a lot because I find it good quality and it covers literally within 1 or 2 coats. And the reason why I'm using this today is because it's the weekend and the Crown factory where I get my paint from is actually closed for the public for the weekend. So I had this and I wanted to get a move on with the dining room. So that's why I'm using that paint just now. You can see a bit better there that that's lilac. So yeah, just in case if any of you didn't know, if you have like a paint factory or even like a tile factory near you, you can actually go in and buy your paint or tiles, whatever you're going in for, directly straight from them. So there's the Crown trade paint, and it's that's the paint that I like to use. I get it straight from the factory. Excuse me. One, because it's cheaper. This only cost me £10 where it would usually cost about £25. It's cheaper, one, because they don't have to distribute to whatever shops that they're going to, and 2, because it's just in a basic tub. It's not in, like, you know, the fancied Crown with all the nice pictures and everything on it. And if you go into the factory, they can mix up whatever colour you want in the Crown selection, or if you've got a shade that you want, like say like if you've got a sock or a t-shirt or something that's, oh, you like that colour, or a picture and you like the colour, you can go in and they'll mix that up for you as well. So yeah, so that's Crown Trade in Ayrshire. If anybody's in Ayrshire and wants to know where that is, I can tell you where that is if you can leave me a comment. So yeah, so anybody needing paint, go and find your nearest paint factory and buy directly from them. Crown I obviously recommend because I use Crown quite a lot. So yeah, but if not, Wilko's paint does the job just as well. Just obviously this is a kind of heavy coloured patterned paper. It is going to do the job, but just a few more coats. And if you're on a budget like me, again, that's only, I think that was £10 for that tub out of Wilko's. Then yeah, it's going to do the job, but just a few more coats. But that's fine, I don't mind doing that. Another little tip, if you're going to be painting and you have a radiator on the wall that you're painting, make sure you either turn the radiator off or keep your heating off, because you'll find that when you're using emulsion, if your heating's on, it dries out too quick and it'll crack, you know, like crackle glaze kind of effect. You'll find it kind of cracks and chips a lot, so keep your heating off or your radiator off. The cutting in, I've done a second coat of cutting in, it's going to need another 3rd coat. Again, just because the Wilko's paint is a bit thinner than the Crown I'm used to, and also it's needing a 3rd coat because this lilac was on the wall, it's actually a silk paint and I'm using matte. So you know, the 1st coat it wasn't really wanting to stick properly, 2nd coat's gone on a lot better, and then 3rd coat that'll be perfect. So there you go. As you can see, you can still see the birds and everything through, and that's the 1st coat done. So I'll come back to you tomorrow, hopefully for day 6, and I'll have the 2nd coat of this done, and then I'll start maybe the 1st coat on the lilac. So anyway, end of day 5, it's late at night now, as you can see, it's dark outside. I thought I'll just give these lilac walls a 1st coat of paint anyway. I'm out of breath now. As you can see, it looks patchy, but that's fine, don't panic. If anybody's not tried painting themselves before and you're trying it for the first time and you're using the roller and it overlaps like that, don't worry. When you put your 2nd or 3rd coat on, you don't see that at all. That's fine. With coloured paints, when you do this, you might find that you need to put just 1 extra coat on at the end, so maybe like 3 layers. But with white emulsion, 2 coats and you don't notice that. It all dries in and blends in. There we go. So that's the first coat on a lilac wall. That's matte emulsion sitting on the lilac silk emulsion paint that was on first coat. That's what it looks like. As you can see, it's patchy where I've kind of stopped, come down the ladder and then rolled again. But as I said, second coat, third coat, you don't notice any of that, and it's all perfectly fine. As you can hear, I've got Supernatural DVD on at the minute. I love my gents and ackles. So anyway, guys, there you go. End of day 5 and first coat. Hi everyone, I'm just making a quick video. I'm just back in from my son's birthday evening out. I'm just back in. It's absolutely pouring it down outside, and I've had just a little bit to drink. Hence why I look a bit like a drowned rat at the minute. But really good night. Had quite a few glasses of strawberry Lambrini. Absolutely love strawberry Lambrini. So yeah, I've lost a nail. So yeah, my hair's doing its own thing, look. As you can tell when you've had a good night, innit girls? When your hair's like all bedraggled, your makeup's not sitting where it's meant to be. But yeah, so today was meant to be day 6, but I've done so much yesterday, made myself sore this morning, so I just rested all day, because it's the weekend. So I rested all day, went for that evening out, Chinese, went to my daughter's house with all the family and that. I'll insert some photos, I think, and yeah, it was a good night. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing the second coat on this dining room to get it ready. I think my daughter's going to be using it for photography for a little while, because we have a studio, but it's costing about £900 a month to rent out this studio, so we're going to be using my dining room for a little while until we can find somewhere a bit cheaper. Because it's costing us quite a bit to run. So yeah, so I'm doing this. I've got like to gloss all this. Well, not gloss, I don't use gloss, I use satin wood. So I've got to satin wood all this window. Excuse the One Direction duvet cover, that's now a rag. It's my daughter's old duvet cover. Got to do that. I've got lots of tidying up to do, because I come back and where my daughters and family was in here all having a natter earlier in the house. It's just a bomb site. So yeah, and I've got paint bits and all that lying about, so I've got to tidy up in here. But there's no little ones running around, it's all adults. I'm just looking, I can see grey hair there, terrible. Yeah guys, so this is my tipsy chat for the night, my Saturday night. Yeah, so tidying up, and then tomorrow doing the second coat in here, and I'll show you that. So it shouldn't be patchy. If this wallpaper behind me, as you can see, it's still a bit patterned, that's probably going to take another 2 coats rather than that. And then I have got a bit of carpet, kind of newish carpet, that I'm going to put down for now. I think I might go for laminate, I'm not too sure yet, but the carpet will go down for now. So at least one room's kind of done, and then I'm going to go back in on Monday and finish the kitchen. Well, not quite finish it, I've still got to get flooring, and I'm going to make blinds. I've still got to buy light shades and things like that, but that'll be done this week anyway. If not, it'll be done early next week, and then the kitchen will be completely finished. So yeah guys, just a quick update of my Saturday night. A little bit tipsy. It was a good night. Hope you're all keeping well. Speak to you soon. Love you, bye. Mwah. So guys, this is day 6, slightly hungover. So I'm going to be giving the dining room its second coat of emulsion. Just a couple of bits around the edges, the cutting in that I need to do again because it's not quite covered up the lilac. That's alright, get it done. So today's going to be a long day, very tired. But yeah, so this is day 6. Another little tip, if any of you are painting with emulsion over wallpaper that's already up. As you can see in the wall, there's some bubbles that's come up. because the paper's got damp again. That one's quite a big one, as you can see. Don't panic about it. When that wallpaper and the paint dries and it all soaks back in again and you don't see any of these at all, and I'll show you when my wallpaper's dry, probably tomorrow, because my house isn't kind of lived in properly. It might take 2 days, because it's got quite a few layers of paint on it. That's now the second coat. As I said, these will all dry out. So if you got a paint over wallpaper and you panic and then go, oh, and then out stripping it off, don't. Leave it a couple of days to dry out, and you'll see that all these bubbles will go away. There you go, just another little tip. Just a quick one of the dining room with the first coat of emulsion when it's dry. As you can see, it's nearly kind of covered it up. I'm just going to give it a second coat now. So guys, that's the wall with that had the bird wallpaper. That's now had 3 coats of paint. These lilac walls, I've still got to get maybe another 1 coat. And I think, to be honest, I'm going to give that wall with bird wallpaper another coat later on today. If you remember in my other clips, my window was kind of wooden. That's already taken 2 coats of satin wood. What I should have done is used an undercoat as a primer, but I didn't. I went and just put satin wood on it. Then the stain kind of seeped through, so it's had a second coat. It's gone a bit creamy, so it's now going to need a 3rd coat. So if ever you have a wooden window frame, I would advise you to use an undercoat or primer first before putting on your satin wood. Otherwise, you'll just need a few extra coats. Yeah, slowly getting there. So this is day 6, and I'm just about to start satin wood in the skirting boards. The skirting board on this side, there is a slight gap, and also there's been a join, I think from previous tenant or whatever, that's added 2 skirting boards together and left a gap. So I'm going to fill in this and then fill in this before painting. As you can see, I think it's more because this wall here is slightly bowed, and they've tried adding on 2 skirting boards, as you can see, to maybe try and straighten it out or make it look like it's straight. But obviously I forgot to fill it in, so you can tell it's just slightly bowed in the way. So yeah, so as this house is going to get done on a £1,000 budget, I'm not going to be wasting like a good couple £100 taking out this wall and putting another one in and things like that. So all I'm going to be doing is filling this in, filling in this join for these 2 boards here, and painting it. And I just thought I'd show you, if you remember the clip earlier where there was bubbles in the paper because it was wet, if anybody's wondering, that's that wall dry. And as you can see, there's no bubbles in the paper at all. See, all dried out, no bubbles, all gone. Still maybe going to have just 1 more coat, because I don't think it's quite perfect just yet around the radiator. Needs doing. I haven't had a radiator cover anyway, so that covers up any, you know what it's like behind radiators, you always get ripped paper, or you can see kind of, unless you're going to actually take the radiator off the wall, which you need plumbers, and unless you know how to do, you need a plumber and everything for, which I don't have the money and I don't know how to do that, so it's just paint it as best I can. But a radiator cover will cover up any little flaws that there is for that. There's plastic bags on the floor. If you wonder what they are, it's because there's some big holes, and obviously with no flooring, I'm a bit wary about little critters coming up through the floorboards during the night. So that's just got plastic bags in there, but they're going to be filled in with wire wool, because mice don't like wire wool, or neither do rats or anything. Not that I've got mice or rats, but just to prevent them before I put my flooring down. Then bags will be taken away, and that will be wire wooled, and then maybe some filler on top. I just thought I'd show you, yep, the wallpaper's dried in. It's now gone back to being completely flat. And I'll show you in a clip, another clip in a minute, where I have filled in the 2 joins. So yep, this is that skirting board that had the big gap in it. It has been filled in, and a little coat of satin wood. As you can see, as it's dried a bit, there's just a few more little cracks that have come through, just maybe where I've not filled it in quite right. So I'll sand that back later today and fill that in and repaint it. As you can see, the join, you don't notice the joins much. Once the second coat of satin wood goes on, because I have to give it everywhere around a second coat. Once the second coat goes on, you won't notice that there's actually been 2 bits of wood there. But yeah, just need to give it another quick fill. As you can see, it's kind of, yeah, I think it's maybe just where it's dried out, or I've just not filled it in properly. But yeah, I'll do that again. That won't take long at all, a couple of minutes. And then it takes about half an hour for the filler to dry, and then recoat it with another coat of satin wood. And that'll be done.